Today marked the launch of the first wild boar eradication campaign of the year, a coordinated operation carried out with local residents and wildlife authorities. For months, certain regions were overwhelmed by rapidly growing wild boar populations. These animals were no longer just a nuisance. They were destroying crops, attacking livestock, and increasingly threatening human safety during sudden encounters. This mission was about restoring control before the situation escalated beyond repair. As soon as we reached the designated hotspot, there was no hesitation. Scopes were raised, positions locked, and surrounding terrain carefully scanned. It didn't take long. A massive herd of wild boars moved across the landscape, clearly visible even at distance. When the signal was given, the operation began. Accurate shooting from such range was difficult, but years of experience and disciplined coordination made the difference. Several targets dropped as the herd reacted in chaos. We recalibrated our scopes and continued firing as the boars attempted to escape beneath the forest canopy. Then another large boar appeared in our line of sight. With steady crosshairs and controlled breathing, the shot was taken. The animal was hit and tumbled down the hillside. Nearby boars were caught in the crossfire, though some managed to flee into cover. After the initial engagement, we shifted ambush positions to maintain pressure. That was when the unexpected happened. A giant wild boar emerged suddenly from the brush. We were momentarily careless. In an instant, the animal changed direction and charged straight at us with terrifying speed. There was no time to think. Gunfire erupted. I managed to drop the charging boar just in time, preventing a dangerous outcome. From a mountain ridge, we later spotted another herd concealed in thick vegetation. Patience was critical. We waited silently until they moved into the open. Then the team struck together. Shots rang out in rapid succession. One by one, the massive black-coated boars fell, crossing into another mountain range. The numbers only seemed to increase. Another herd climbed the hillside, their movement clear through the scope. We opened fire immediately, knocking down multiple targets. Still, a few managed to escape. By the afternoon, we reached the fields at the base of the hills. Only then did we fully grasp the scale of the infestation. The boars were enormous, fast, and relentless. Vehicles were needed just to close the distance. Despite exhaustion, we kept pushing. Tomorrow, the hunt would continue. After a brief rest, we regrouped and reassessed the situation. The scale of the invasion was clearer than ever. Wild boars were not appearing in small scattered groups. They were moving in waves, spreading disease, destroying farmland, and overwhelming entire regions. If left unchecked, their numbers would multiply rapidly, causing irreversible damage to crops, ecosystems, and rural livelihoods. This was no longer a simple hunt. It was a necessary intervention. We resumed the operation with renewed focus. Our hunting dogs were released again, their sharp instincts immediately picking up fresh trails. Within moments, barking echoed across the terrain. A dark shape burst from cover, sprinting across the open ground with surprising speed. I tracked it through the scope and fired. The shot rang out, but the boar kept running, fueled by sheer strength. A second shot followed. This time, it staggered and disappeared into the brush. We pressed forward, knowing wounded animals could still pose a deadly threat. To gain better visibility, we deployed a drone from higher ground. From above, the situation unfolded clearly. Multiple boars were moving towards safer cover, attempting to regroup. Our dogs locked onto a target, driving it hard toward an open field. The chase was intense. The boar tried to break through the perimeter, but our formation held. A well-placed shot finally stopped it in its tracks. Realizing direct pursuit was ineffective, our experienced team adjusted strategy. We split into smaller units, sealing off escape routes and using elevation to our advantage. The highest ridge became our primary lookout. Movement below confirmed our decision. A lone boar emerged, attempting to flee along a narrow path. One of the dogs cut it off, forcing it to turn. Cornered and desperate, the animal charged forward in a final attempt to fight back. I steadied my rifle, waited for the moment, and fired. The charge ended instantly. Gun smoke drifted across the hillside as silence returned. But the mission was not complete. Dusk approached, reducing visibility and increasing risk. Still, we pushed on, determined to make every remaining minute count. From the ridge, another herd came into view, gathered below and unaware of our presence. Years of experience guided us. We waited, breathed, and took the shot. Chaos erupted as gunfire shattered the calm. Nearly a dozen boars fell before the rest scattered into the fading light. Only a few managed to escape. The day was ending, but the campaign was far from over. Just when we believed the hunt was finally over, the dogs erupted into frantic barking near a dense cluster of bushes. Their behavior was different this time, sharper, more aggressive. Something was hiding inside, something that refused to flee. Instantly, tension returned. We tightened our grip on our weapons and formed a defensive line. In situations like this, hesitation invites disaster. The brush exploded with movement. Instinct took control. I fired. The shot struck the boar dead center, dropping it before it could break through our position. Silence followed, broken only by heavy breathing and the rustle of leaves. The dog circled the fallen animal, confirming the threat was neutralized. Encounters like this are the most dangerous. A cornered wild boar is unpredictable, powerful, and willing to fight to the death. Many serious injuries happen in these final moments, when hunters believe the danger has passed. As night approached, we assessed the area one last time. From the ridge above, we spotted fresh movement in the valley. Another herd, moving cautiously, learning from the chaos earlier in the day. These animals adapt quickly. Every gunshot teaches them to become faster, smarter, and more aggressive. We repositioned silently, using the slope and shadows to our advantage. When the first boar stepped into the open, we acted without delay. The initial shot echoed across the valley, followed by controlled fire from multiple angles. The herd scattered, but our formation cut off their escape. Several dropped before reaching cover. The dogs surged forward like seasoned warriors, scanning every tree line and bush. One panicked boar broke through the chaos, charging blindly. I stepped forward, steadied my aim, and fired. The bullet tore through its thick hide. The animal collapsed within seconds, momentum carrying it forward before it finally went still. The dogs closed in, their job complete. By then, exhaustion weighed heavily on all of us. Muscles burned, focus strained, yet discipline held firm. Every action followed strict regulations. Seasons, limits, and safety protocols were respected without exception. This was not uncontrolled slaughter. It was targeted population management, carried out to protect farms, livestock, and human lives. Wild boars reproduce rapidly. Left alone, they devastate entire regions within a few years. As darkness settled fully across the landscape, we made the final call to withdraw. Staying longer would only increase risk without reward. We regrouped, accounted for every team member, and began the descent. The forest slowly returned to silence, but the evidence of the day's work remained clear. This campaign was not driven by thrill or pride. It was driven by necessity. Wild boar eradication is harsh, demanding, and dangerous, but ignoring the problem only allows it to grow. Today proved one thing beyond doubt. When preparation, teamwork, and experience come together, even the most aggressive invaders can be stopped. Tomorrow, the campaign continues, because the land cannot defend itself, and the consequences of inaction are far greater than the risks we face out here.